Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone out there. My name is Anil Kamble, and I work as an worldwide industry process expert specialist for DraftSight application at Dassault Systems. Let me welcome you all to an introduction to DraftSight session. In this session, we will see how simple and easy it is to create drawings using DraftSight applications. We will see how flexible it is to customize and use it the way we want. What tools and commands we have to create drawings. What all options do we have to effectively define a geometry? Working with blocks, creating blocks with added intelligence to it, and edit existing blocks with keeping or adding block definition to it. What are files we can import, export and attach in DraftSight? Annotation scaling, sheet set manager, managing drawing standards and add-ins, power tools to compare drawings, generating G-codes, raster images to vectorize geometry and topo tracer, mechanical tools to add screw connections, standard holes, symbols, applying balloons and extracting bill of material of the same. 3D modeling environment of DraftSight. And last but not least, DraftSight support to Lisp, programming languages and customized applications. So let's get started. Now the CAD application that you see on my screen is DraftSight Premium 2022 with brand new dark mode user interface. Dark mode reduces blue light exposure and helps with eye strain that comes with prolonged screen time. Dark mode also helps to improve our focus while working on drawings. Now to switch to light mode, right click the ribbon area and select Switch UI Style. We need to restart application to take light mode effect. We can seamlessly open multiple drawings at once in DraftSight, work upon them and save as them in R2018 version till R12, which is a pretty old version of DWG files. If you have multiple sheets in a drawing and not sure which is of what, just hover a mouse over the drawing tab and we will have a preview of sheets of which we can select and easily open them. DraftSight is flexible. If you would like to hide ribbon and make more working space, just click drop down and minimize it and make more working space. Uncomfortable with palette location? Just drag it and place it to your comfortable location. DraftSight supports classic environment. Now if you still love to work in classic environment, here you have it. Let me switch back to drafting and annotation environment as I am comfortable in working with it. Now if you would like to customize your own ribbon type user interface, we can easily customize the application as we want. Just open Customize User Interface, drag and drop the tabs you would like to add in the workspace. Simple as that. So when it comes for creating drawing, DraftSight has the same tools and commands just like AutoCAD. The keyboard shortcut and aliases works the same way. For example, press F3 if you would like to turn on and off e-snaps. Press F9 to turn snap on and off. F7 to grid make on and off. Now command aliases like L for line, rec for rectangle, CIR for circle, OP for options and many more functions the same way. DraftSight has minimal learning curve. Install application and start using it to create drawings. We have familiar tools and commands to create and modify drawings. The power trim command easily allows us to trim an entity by just dragging the mouse cursor onto the entity. Same command can be used to extend entity by pressing Shift key. We can chamfer and fillet the edges by specifying distance and many more options. Array command comes with familiar interface that we are already aware and are comfortable working with. We can associate entities, apply the horizontal and vertical space distance, and drag the entities to fill the space. Hatching a drawing adds meaning and helps to differentiate the material and area. Now with the DraftSight hatch tool, which is a familiar tool, assists us in defining different types of hatches and patterns. Now to apply a hatch, we need to select an entity or need to have a enclosed boundary. DraftSight seamlessly read and write .dwg files so as we have all the layers intact and can add or modify the layers with Layer Manager. Layer Manager assists us in defining layer properties like status, name, visibility, frozen or thaw, line color, line style, and many more. We can define layer state, save it, and use it as per our need. If the layer quantities are more, we can filter out layer as per our requirement. Blocks. DraftSight supports dynamic blocks. Moreover, we can create our own intelligent block called custom blocks. Now to call a block, we can type in B. Now this shortcut we have been using for a long time and is a part of our muscle memory. We can use them in DraftSight in the same way as we used it in any other alternative CAD application. Block Editor is a dedicated block authoring environment that let us create and modify block geometry, attributes and parameters, actions and constraints. It contains the tools to add dynamic capabilities to a block definition. We can test the block and save block as custom block of DraftSight. We can edit dynamic block already present in a drawing. And when try to edit dynamic block, DraftSight asks what you would like to do with the dynamic block, whether you would like to edit block losing its original definition, allowing you to create new block definition, or you would like to convert into DraftSight custom block, which will contain all original definition of which we can modify or add our own block definition. Dimensions. Dimensions are the utmost important when it comes to define a geometry, and DraftSight has the right tool set to define a geometry. Along with regular dimension commands, we can make use of smart dimension capabilities to apply dimension to an entity by selecting it and placing it the way we want. DraftSight auto dimension capabilities assist us in applying dimension to a selected geometry. Just create a bounding box around geometry and leave it up to auto dimension tool. We can choose a baseline, continuous and ordinate dimensions to apply along from the origin that we will select. Select the dimension and auto-arrange them. We can append many more geometries and use auto-dimension functionality to apply dimensions. We can manually select the entities and that we would like to be a part of auto-dimensions. Once done, we can delete the unnecessary dimensions. On the other hand, the contextual menu is our work by giving us an option to define limits, fits, precisions and many more when try to modify a dimension. We can then save the settings in a favorite and can utilize it as and when needed. We always need to keep some tolerances to a dimension, and tolerance functionality help us to precisely define a geometry and make production ready drawings. DraftSight annotation tools also assist in easily adding notes with spelling checks, add markups and wipeouts section of a geometry, add leaders and multi-leaders, symbols and many more. DraftSight has the right tools to create production ready drawings. Annotation scalings. When we add text, dimensions, hatches and blocks to a drawing, we can apply the annotative scaling property. It is referred to as annotative entities. Annotative scaling let us achieve consistent and uniform size and scale of text, dimensions and hatches for printout. We can assign multiple scales to annotative entities. This is referred to as scale representation. When you hover over an annotative entity, an icon is displayed near the pointer. The icon indicates that the entity currently supports annotative scale. Annotative entities display is controlled by the active annotation scale on the model tab and the annotation scale property of viewports on layout sheets. Annotative entities and styles controls the size and scales at which annotation entities are displayed and printed. Now we can import, export and attach different types of files in DraftSight. We can import files like DGN from MicroStation, SAT file, PDF files, Delmi XML files and SVG files. Export files like PDFs and various other formats, and attach drawings files, DGN files, PDF files and images. Now for demonstration, let us take an example of PDF file. We can insert content from PDF files as block in a drawing, and the options allow us to specify preferences for converting PDF. We can insert all or selected pages from multiple page PDF document. DraftSight converts vectors in the PDF files to drawing entities such as lines, circles, ellipse and splines, text lines in the PDF files to text entities using the fonts embedded in the PDF files provided on our computer. Raster graphics in the PDF files to image files on the hard disk. The images are referenced as images in the drawing where you import the PDF file. We can attach PDF as a reference to current drawing and further utilize it for our work. PDF export functionality gives us more options to how we would like to export PDF files, and the quality of the PDF file exported is optimum. Sheet Set Manager. Sheet Set Manager is available in DraftSight 2021 and newer version. Sheet Set Manager let us create, organize and manage drawings, sheets within drawing sheet set. Set of drawings are primary deliverables for most design group, and managing set of drawings manually can be complicated and time consuming. With the Sheet Set Manager, we can manage drawing as sheet sets. The panel that you see on right hand of screen is Sheet Set Manager panel. Sheets can be arranged into collections called subsets. Sheet subsets are often associated with disciplines such as architecture or mechanical design. Like for an example that you see on my screen. We can renumber or reorder them in tree view. After we have organized drawings into a sheet set, we can publish, transmit and archive the sheet set as package. We can batch publish sheets to PDF either normal or reverse order. We can also publish sheets to DWF and DWFX files. Those DWF files can be further be used to add markups and review drawings. We can create the named selection set, which then can be recalled to perform operations like publish, upload. DraftSight 2022 provides us an ability to create customized summary table based on the sheet set. Now we can use the table to quickly access the sheets in the list. Pack and go functionality. Let us consolidate the sheet set and share among stakeholders hassle-free. We can use sheet set in a team that can involve network access, internet collaboration, and email transmitters. The team can also include people who uses the software that does not include sheet set manager. Drawing standards and add-ins. Now if you have a drawing standards already introduced in organization and would like to audit a current drawing if it has been created as per the drawing standards, we can bring in the file and verify standard of existing drawing. We can verify dimension style, layers, text style, and line style matches with the drawing standard. And if it not, it will notify with pop-up alert with standard violation, and we have options to control those notifications. DraftSight suits the need of technically skilled people. Now list provides a complex tool to enhance the power of your application in many ways. The list programming language allows us to add functions and routines tailored to your individual needs. DraftSight now also support lists, visual lists, and DLL files and can interpret them. So if we have any customized application created in Lisp or C++ or VB.NET, JavaScript, those can be loaded in DraftSight and can start using them. Those loaded applications can be seen in Add-in Manager. Power tools in DraftSight. When it comes to convert images into vector format, DraftSight has some really useful tools like Image Tracer. Image Tracer let us convert raster images in .bmp, .png and JPEG format to vector format. The images can be architectural planes, floor planes, logos, and curved images. The tools generate lines, arcs, polylines, and curves from the vectorized image and place this object into the active DraftSight layer. We can use the object as a resource in your drawing. Image Tracer provides preset profiles optimized for this type of images. We can customize these profiles or create our own. Profiles can save your time if you are converting several images with the same characteristics. The tool is made up of two tabs. The basic tabs let you adjust the transparency, brightness or contrast in the image and converts the geometry entities to vector format. If you want to further enhance edges or curves, we can apply settings in the Advanced tab. Topo Tracer, on another hand, creates a 3D landscape reliefs in a drawing by tracing a 2D topographic image and generating a 3D mesh, surface or solid. We can start by attaching a topographic image to a drawing and selecting an area to trace. We can use the auto trace feature to trace the contour lines automatically or trace each line manually. We can split lines and join the endpoints of two lines to create a continuous line. The height scale option, let us specify the relationship between the height of the contour lines in the 2D image and the DraftSight units that are used in the drawing. Now when finished tracing all lines and assign elevations, you can generate a polygon mesh, face or solid 3D landscape relief. Draw Compare tool compares two DraftSight drawings to see difference between the entities they contain. This difference appears in a third drawing using color code. Draw Compare compares the bitmaps of the drawings at the bit level. Only visual changes are captured when you compare the drawings. For example, if you move an annotation 2 mm to the left, these changes reflect in the comparison. However, if you change a custom property such as description, it is not reflected in the comparison. The G-code generator lets you convert DXF data to G-code so that you can send the data to a computer numerical control machine. The G-code generator can process points, lines, arcs and circle. Now if there are other entities in selection list such as text, notes, tables, blocks or hatches, they are filtered out. The G-code generator supports generic code. It does not support arbitrary planes. The only entities that are processed are those on the XY plane. The custom post-processing for different CNC machines. Select the G-code type and options associated with it. Use G-code generator to create machines readable codes from your 2D drawing for CNC machines. The mechanical toolbox add-in for DraftSight contains a set of standard 2D design, drafting and detailing tools to help you create and annotate drawings. With mechanical toolbox, we can choose a default standard from a collection of data table that defines industrial and national standards, or create a custom standard based on one of the standard provided. Insert standard hardware into our drawings in a number of 2D views by choosing from a collection of bolted and screws, nuts, pins and washers. Add predefined holes to a drawing by choosing from contour board or countersink holes with blind or through clearance. We can also specify geometric or textual hole dimensions and create associative chart of hole locations, which we can then add as annotations to drawings. Detailed drawings by creating, previewing and adding surface finishes and weld symbols. Design and add balloons to drawing entities. Use the item data associated with balloons to add bill of materials table to your drawings. We can export the content of the table as comma or separated values, track changes in drawings by creating revision tables with links to revision symbols. DraftSight 3D modeling environment. The DraftSight 3D modeling environment has the right tool to conceptualize our ideas. It includes 3D solid, surface, meshes, wireframe objects. Now let us take an example of bridge where we would like to extend the structure up till the end of the bridge. In this case, we may just pattern the specific number of glass and structure to a specified distance. We can just select the face of the beam and drag it to extrude to the position where we would like to. DraftSight 3D modeling is available with Premium and Enterprise Plus version of DraftSight. DraftSight has the productivity tools, functionalities, and file compatibility you need to create, edit, view, and mark up any 2D or 3D DWG file with speed and efficiency. With this, I end my presentation. I hope you will make DraftSight your companion in your daily work. Thank you.